Long ago, in a quiet village surrounded by thick forests and winding rivers, lived a man named Victor. He was tall, strong, and known throughout the land for his hard work. But what made him truly special was his heart, full of love, especially for his beautiful wife, Grace. Their love was like the rising sun, warm, hopeful, and full of promise. When Grace became pregnant, Victor was overjoyed. He sang songs, danced beneath the moonlight, and made a vow to love and protect his family for all his days. But life has a cruel way of twisting happiness. The day Amanda was born was the day Grace died. Her final breath came with the baby's first cry. And just like that, Victor's joy turned to sorrow. But when he looked into Amanda's tiny eyes, full of innocence and light, he found a reason to live again. She became his world, his sunshine after the storm. Months passed. Victor, though grieving, remained strong for Amanda, but raising a child alone, it wasn't easy. Eventually, Victor made a decision that surprised everyone. He remarried. Her name was Patricia, a woman with beauty like polished river stone, smooth, dark skin, piercing eyes, and a smile that could silence a room. But behind that smile was something cold. When Victor's closest friend, Daniel, asked why so soon, Grace's grave is still fresh, he said. Victor looked away and replied quietly, I need help. Amanda needs a mother. I can't raise her alone. Patricia moved in. At first, she played her part. She smiled. She pretended to love Amanda. But that act didn't last long. The baby cries too much, she would complain. Can't you shut her up? Victor, blinded by loneliness and fear, ignored the warning signs. He believed Patricia would grow to love Amanda. He was wrong. One hot afternoon, Patricia approached Victor with a smile. Let's take Amanda to the river, she said sweetly. The fresh air will be good for her. Victor agreed. By the time they reached the riverbank, Amanda was giggling in his arms, unaware of the storm behind those smiling eyes. As Victor sat under a tree with Amanda, Patricia stood. I need herbs from the bush, she said. Please fetch some for me. Trusting his wife, Victor handed Amanda to her and vanished into the trees. Patricia looked down at the baby. Her smile faded. Then, without hesitation, she walked to the edge of the river and threw Amanda into the rushing water. The baby's cry was swallowed by the current. Patricia tore her wrapper, rubbed dirt on her face, and began to scream. Victor came running. She slipped, she cried. I tried to save her, but the water was too strong. Victor dropped to his knees. Again, the river had taken everything, but only the trees knew the truth. Days turned into weeks. Victor was shattered. He couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. Patricia stayed by his side, pretending to grieve, whispering lies and stroking his back. But at night, something strange began to happen. Patricia heard a baby crying, softly. She would sit up trembling, her heart pounding. But every time, there was no baby, just silence. Then one moonlit evening, Victor sat alone near the river, haunted, and then he heard it, a cry, faint, familiar. He stood searching the darkness, and there, floating in the shallows, was Amanda's tiny bracelet, the one Grace had made before she died. Victor picked it up, and something deep in him cracked. When Victor returned home, Patricia greeted him with a forced smile. He threw the bracelet on the table. I found this, he said, voice low. Patricia's eyes flicked to the bracelet. Her smile tightened. So what? She snapped. Amanda's the only baby in this village with jewelry? Victor stared at her. The seed of doubt had sprouted, but Patricia was quick. If you keep obsessing like this, you'll go mad, she warned. Let Amanda rest. But Victor couldn't. That night he lay awake, and the bracelet burned in his palm. At dawn, Daniel stormed into Victor's compound. How could you believe Patricia's lies? He shouted. A baby doesn't just vanish in daylight. Victor exploded. You're jealous because my wife is more beautiful than yours. They fought, fists flying, rage spilling, neighbors pulling them apart. You're a blind fool, Daniel yelled. But one day the truth will hit you harder than I ever could. And with that, he walked away. Years passed. Victor was older now, tired, haunted. Patricia remained childless, cursed by the river, though she didn't know it yet. Then, one sweltering afternoon, as Victor fetched water from the river, he heard a voice behind him. Sir, can you help me? He turned, and there stood a little girl, no older than 5, wild curly hair, tattered dress, big sad brown eyes. I I don't remember my name, she whispered. I'm lost. Victor's heart twisted. He brought her home. Patricia's smile cracked the moment she saw the girl. She knew something wasn't right. Victor gave the girl a name, Hope. She rarely spoke, but when she did, her words felt too wise, too knowing. She stared at Patricia with calm, unsettling eyes. Then one evening, as the sky turned orange and purple, Hope turned to Victor and said, Don't call me Hope anymore. Call me Amanda. Victor dropped the tool he was holding. His breath caught. Amanda was my daughter's name. The girl only nodded. I know. From that day, everything changed. Victor's farm, once barren, suddenly flourished. Crops grew thick and fast. Money flowed again. Peace returned to his soul. But Patricia? She grew angry and afraid. When Victor told her, Hope wants to be called Amanda now, Patricia lost control. That girl was sent to destroy this home. She screamed. If you don't throw her out, I'll leave. Victor stared at her coldly. Then leave. That night, Victor sat with Amanda and said softly, No matter what happens, I've got your back. Amanda smiled. Don't worry, Daddy. I can deal with her. Her voice was calm, powerful, far beyond her years. And Patricia? She began to unravel. She poured dirty water where Amanda sat. She shouted, cursed, made life unbearable. But Amanda never flinched. Then one night she told Patricia, This was my house before you came. And that's when Patricia knew this child was no ordinary girl.